Yeah. Here we are.
Word up.
All right. Yes. I want it to be a authentic conversation. We don't even need to do the Dubai Dad's, intro or any of that. Let it be an honest conversation.
Let's do
All
it.
right. And me and you have had, we've had a lot of back and forth. And for us, I think this community is not just a project, a hobby or something. I think you and I both believe in this genuinely. I mean, when I first brought it to you, you were 100% in, like
Yep.
on the get go. And every single person I've ever spoken to, like literally from randoms all the way to family, all the way to colleagues, all the way to just literally anyone who I just tell goes, this idea is amazing and definitely needed for people, for dads in Dubai. Every single person, without a doubt.
No doubt.
But I
It's
think, but I think what me and you have been talking about, and every time and it was an honest conversation. We can bring it up. Is what are we currently doing going to lead us to where we want to get to? And I think both of us are like not necessarily, and probably no. You know, when we have the guests, I think it's really good because and the episodes have been, I think, fire, and I think that's where a lot of value is added. But one thing that I believe in is we need to get higher caliber guests and not talk about like just like it's about what value can they bring. Yes, talking to the average dad is important, but we need to start looking at people who can bring a lot of benefit to the dads. Be it coaches, be it financial gurus, be it people who can help dads such as ourselves, fitness guys like we got with Chris. These are people who can elevate the dads in Dubai and whatever. On top of that, we need to start doing things that again will benefit the community. These are things that I think me and you have gone a lot back and forth on, you know,
yeah.
and we don't want to stagnate so early on.
No, we don't
No,
want to.
yeah. So, what do you think? Let's talk it out. What do you think we can do to help this community better, and what can we do to get the right people to come on this podcast and actually benefit the fathers of Dubai and our circle?
Yeah, man. I mean, to start off with, I think it's important that we reflect on where we started and where
Yes.
where all of this began, to understand where we are,
Yes.
and then to understand where we are trying to go.
Yes.
All right. So, how long has it been?
We're around 14
Five.
episodes out, so it's
Yeah.
14 weeks.
Yeah. So you're talking about, you know,
3.5 months.
4 months,
Yeah.
almost under 4 months.
Under 4 months.
What we've accomplished in under 4 months, I'm proud of. I
Same.
have to say. I think we have come a long way. I think we've spoken to some amazing people.
Yes.
I think all of them have had, a lot of valuable things to share, and I think our critics who are important to us
Of course.
have recognized that, and I think we've come a long way. I for sure have come a long way. You were already a pro when you started this. You've been podcasting for a while. You've been on the screen. You've been doing this, and you've been doing it very well. So you introduced me. I got onto this. I did try something with you earlier, but I was too hesitant then. It just never broke the ice. This time, I think you were very patient with me, and I told you from the beginning that like I needed your patience to be able to get to where I need to get to. And slowly I think I've grown into something that is acceptable for this role. You know what I mean?
You know what I think it was? I think it was we had purpose. So a lot of
Yes.
people don't know, me and you actually started a podcast right after COVID
Yeah.
or during COVID or after COVID, can't even remember, called The Tangent,
It
where we
was
had 8
before
episodes.
COVID. We
Before
stopped
COVID.
at COVID.
At COVID. So we had a podcast called The Tangent. We did 8 episodes. I still have those 8 episodes. And we were just talking about random stuff, like different episodes, different kind of things. The idea was that you go on a tangent on a conversation and we let it go.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. The problem is COVID came and obviously threw everything at whack, and we just didn't know how to deal with it. We're just trying to figure out what
Yeah,
to
and I'm
do.
going to take responsibility, man. I sucked. I mean, let's be real. I don't know if you've gone back and watched any of
I haven't
those. I
watched them.
have, and I'm terrible, man. You know what I mean? And you probably were like, "Yeah, it's not what I thought. It should have been." And I totally understand that because I thought that. And so when that kind of dropped off and we couldn't fit it into our schedules and stuff, I couldn't even make myself better. we came back and then we tried to do Dubai Dads the first time.
And we did a
If
few
you
episodes,
recall, we did
and
a
then
few
and
episodes.
actually they got lost.
Yes, a lot of content got lost.
Oh, that was frustrating.
Um, uh, um, uh, somebody lost it, but
Technical errors.
the fact was that even then I wasn't happy with who I was. I wasn't in a good place. I was dragging. Health wise, I wasn't doing well. So you're trying to talk to dads about all these things,
Yeah,
and you yourself are struggling big time to even
mm,
keep up with that, right? So
exactly.
that kind of dropped off. And then I don't know how long we went, a year, I think, because it was established 2024,
It was established 2024.
right?
I don't know if
So
it was maybe less than a year, but definitely a good amount of time. And then we came back. We're like, man, we need to do
we need
this.
to do this.
And
Exactly. I
and I
think,
think we both started getting on the path of bettering ourselves as fathers and as
yes.
men and as people. So as a person, and I think that's what kind of brought it. And then the purpose. I
Yeah.
think it was the purpose that made the difference. We both looked at each other. We're like, this is not just about me and you. This is about other dads out there who are in our current situation. Either they're financially in a tough place, physically, mentally, whatever, in their marital life, just whatever. We need to find something that will help dads out there. And we talked about how there's really nothing for just dads in general. Yes, there's some British dads, there's Irish dads, maybe there's Australian dads or American dads, but everything is very much about nationality or some kind of specific niche. And not there's something about just dads.
Just dads, normal dads, guys that wear hats and t-shirts and have
Hardworking guys who just want to
jobs.
do better
Yeah.
for their family.
Yeah, exactly. Moved out. In the beginning, it was kind of like, oh, who's out in Dubai? So it was Dubai dads. But then it was like, okay, we're in Dubai, but dads are all over the world. So why should we limit it to
Just to buy.
Dubai? And we opened it up, but we kept the name. And I think it's cool because there is an appeal to Dubai, and there is also the fact that a lot of us are alone here. Like we aren't here with our, structures, our families,
Yep.
the bigger family
We're all
circle, the
expats.
tribe. Yeah, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
And so as expats, you're quite lonely. You don't know where to go. You don't know who to talk to. You get stuck. And that was the whole thing, right? The
Yes.
value, the purpose was created out of the fact that we needed to give these guys and ourselves a community, a tribe to be
Exactly.
part
A
of.
community.
And I think we've done okay. And I think the
I think
problem
actually,
is,
I think the problem is that we're also very self-critical. We always want to be better and
yeah,
better. But if you
yeah,
actually look at it in a nutshell, I mean, it's been a few months. We already have a community. Yes, it's not as active we'd like it to be because
yeah,
everyone's very busy. It's holiday time, so we have over 60 dads.
yeah.
We did our first meetup, which I really enjoyed. It
Hmm.
wasn't like tens of people. We were like 8 or 9, but it was
Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
And I felt like all the dads there were on the very similar pages, which I think we all felt that. And like all the dads messaged me and thanked me and thanked you and thanked us. So I think that was really interesting. But the idea is that how can we keep engaging?
hmm,
One, how do we keep engaging the community? How can we grow the community? And
yeah,
how can we be able to create and post content? Because one thing that we are struggling with, and mainly a big part of it is me, is how can we keep creating content, releasing on time, edit, clip, release the clips? This is something that we're currently struggling at.
yeah.
We are currently struggling at, and it's because of time demands. Anytime that work becomes hectic, I myself start to get time constrained.
Hmm. And I have to publicly, give you the credit where it's due. You take care of all the technical stuff, man. You are the one that really makes the content happen, right? I mean, we create it. We're on the creative side together and everything like that. I'll help organize some of the admin stuff, but let's be real. The technical, everyday editing and stuff like that. Man, where am I with that, right? Maybe I'll try to
Yeah.
get better and better slowly, but
It's not easy,
it's
man,
a
because I've been
big,
doing it for so long, right? So I've been doing it on so many podcasts. So I think we have
yeah,
each of us have a strength. But one thing that you need a lot of like acknowledgement for is, man, you get some great guests. Your
thank,
outreach and getting guests is spot on. Like
thank you. We
Anna,
work together.
Halal was honestly like again. It's not like he was an expert like outside of his like medical, but he wasn't like a coach and he wasn't like a finance guy. He was a dad,
Hmm.
and it was his first podcast. But man, he was awesome. That was
Yeah,
one of my favorite episodes we've ever done.
yeah. No,
Top
we've
three,
had
top
some
five favorite
gems,
episodes by
honestly.
far.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
You
for
know,
sure.
because he
And
was
again,
genuine. He was a genuinely good dad who's trying. He comes from such an interesting background. I love that. So man, you've been doing excellent outreach. Like without you, we'd have we'd have like one guest.
I appreciate that. And I think we've added value where we could, and we still do. But I think, like you said, we are plateauing. I don't think we're failing in any
No, it's
sense
not
of the
failure.
word. I think we're plateauing, and I think it's because we've come to a point where we're providing, our viewers or listeners or even the people that check us out on the clips with enough entertainable content to keep them,
Yes.
partially engaged at times. But I mean, let's be real. It's the algorithm. You're the one who taught me this. It's the virality. It's the things that we need to talk about that really boost and elevate and take this podcast to the next level.
100%.
We've spoken about it a million times. I've spoken to some people. You have too. And we have some ideas. And I think that's what we're going to, kind of put out there to
Yes.
show our journey, right? As to where we started, where we've come, and then where we want to go.
Exactly.
I think like you said, we have really high standards for ourselves. But I don't think that it's like out of reach. I think that we can hit those standards. I can easily reach what we're aiming to reach.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing we did is they say once you hit over 12 episodes in a podcast, it has a probability of lasting. So we've already passed a point where I feel that if we just continue, but the idea is that you have to pivot. The world is changing so incredibly fast.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Literally, it was a month ago when you and I were talking about how the viral content are these like trendy clips.
Yeah.
And a month passed and the algorithm just shifted 180 degrees. And it's not even about the trendy stuff anymore. Everything is about story.
Yeah.
Everything's a story, because Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, they all want to be like Netflix in their own way. They want to have engaging short form content that you watch it like a show.
Yeah.
And I think I love that even more because it's about being honest and true. It's not about putting a show. It's not about playing a character. It's about it's more like a documentation.
Exactly.
So really, this episode right now is almost like our prequel to our documentary.
Yeah.
So whoever's listening,
pre-autobiography.
Exactly. You're basically the preface of the Dubai Dad's book right now. And that's what we want to do. And we want to be able to document the journey we're going through to be able to grow it. I think the end goal is growing a thriving, successful community of fathers who want to better themselves and to grow and be better. That is the end goal. So that is Z. That's point Z, right? Or whatever, point 100. This is now step one. How can we get to the 100? Yeah. And every step we take will get us there, but we have to keep taking it.
Yeah. Since we're putting it out there, let's talk about how we first started the podcast, started doing the guests after starting just me and you a few episodes. And then, so there have been mini pivots from the beginning, right? Every time we felt like, okay, this is cool, but it could be better. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then your dream of having the WhatsApp community, resonated with me 100%.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no podcast without a community.
Yes.
That's the whole point. Like, this is what we're trying to do. So what did we do? We went and we reached out to our friends, our families, people that we knew. We talked a million times about, okay, how do we create this community? Do we vet it? Do we add barriers? And, do we act as gatekeepers, or do we just open it up totally? What's the right thing to do? What's the way to keep the quality and keep out the people that might come in and try to disrupt what we're trying to do, or to bring in things that nobody wants to be a part of, like, free handouts and stuff like that. Exactly. I mean, look, if you're telling dads that this is a community for support, where you have an issue, come and talk to us, like, other dads are here to listen. A father that might be financially struggling might say, you know what, this is a good opportunity for me to go and say, hey, dudes, I can't pay my bills. Can somebody help me out here? And I mean, look, I'm happy to help where I can personally, but I would not want to bring a group of dads together so that other people can come and start asking for free handouts.
Exactly.
That's not what I want to do. I don't want to put people in that position, because they're going to be like, what the hell? Like, why did you even invite us to this?
Exactly.
And I think you and I agreed to that. And we were just like, okay, so we need to be smart with this. We need to be very, very careful with who is allowed into the group, at least in the beginning, right? And so we had people let us know all of their details, their LinkedIn profiles, People that didn't provide all that information were not privy to be part of the group as of yet. And we've come to a point where, okay, I think we've maxed out on all those very close circles. So I think the next step is to open the doors a little bit more
Definitely.
and let more dads in, more dads that maybe we don't know personally. And we let, the community organically grow itself. And
Yes.
where we need to, we can kind of shepherd it. We keep our little
100%.
stick in hand and we
100%.
try to keep things in order.
100%. So this is one of the things, I mean, this is one of our pillars, right? Growing the WhatsApp community group, right? And there's a few ideas I think we both have. Definitely one is leveraging other groups that we're in, right? I think you've done that very well at the very beginning. You had like community groups you leverage, but there's definitely a lot of groups that we need to, ask the admins, hey, can we post? Or not even ask, maybe just post, and if they block the post, they block it. I mean,
Sometimes it's just better to ask for forgiveness later.
that for permission, isn't it? That's the saying. So that's definitely one growth.
Yeah.
Another growth is some PR. I mean, we have to maybe reach out to some publications. I mean, there's Time Out Dubai or What's On or Lovin' of these pages that that might help us for a fee or for free. We don't know, but we have to try. And I think another one of it is actually just running ads to send people to the website, and we target dads. And you can do that, right? You can do that. That's my specialty. I can actually target male parents. You can actually do that as a targeting.
Well, why don't you tell people what you do?
Yeah. So I mean, my full-time job, I'm a digital marketeer. I'm a vice president of digital for an independent agency. So I've been in this for like, I don't know, 13, 14 years now. So this is kind of my bread and butter. How do you strategize and how do you advertise for a client, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So kind of what I do. So definitely these are the three kind of approaches we can take to try to grow the WhatsApp community specifically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think, what we decided together is that we want the podcast to grow organically. We don't want to advertise it everywhere. We don't want to throw it out there and try to just get, like useless, hollow likes and views,
exactly.
because that's not going to grow it.
No.
And keep it sustainably
Yeah,
going.
they're called vanity metrics. We call that basically just for the sake of the numbers, but it's not that. But
That's not what we want.
to grow a podcast, I think the podcast, it's all about the kind of content you create and the guests you bring on and the conversations you have. And we can see that, right? You can see the exact quality. So I think a big step that we decided was starting 2026 is to maybe change the frequency of the podcast. Right now, we've been doing it weekly, which is great because you have obviously 4 times a month. You have a lot of content, but we've been, because of the struggle we have in terms of finding guests, getting guests on board, creating the guest sheet of questions and topics, recording, editing, clipping, releasing the clips, releasing episodes. It's becoming a lot.
Yep.
So I think we decided that let's
Quality
go
over
quality
quantity.
over quantity.
100%.
If we cut back just 2 episodes a month, so we just do it bi-weekly, which is still a good frequency. Just enough time to prep, edit, clip, release clips, and we can start getting really high quality guests, such as Talal or Anne or this kind of quality where people can really, really benefit of a great conversation. So I think
100%.
January for us will be the step towards that. And I'm actually really excited about that because I feel the extra time we have, we can put a lot more back into both the community and the podcast.
1,000%. And we did talk about something else. So we are a 2-dad powerhouse, which is also what you can consider a production house. And under that production umbrella, there are other things that, both of us can do together or can do separately and bring in underneath the same umbrella, underneath the same, let's say, production house license. And with that, what we'll do is we'll use the times in between to build sort of alternative content that relates to being a Dubai dad or that relates to being Yas and Hoos, and then also ties back into what we're doing together.
Exactly.
So diversify what we offer in terms of creativity, in terms of ideas. There's a number of different ideas that we're thinking of. I have my own, Hoos has his. He's also got a bunch of his stuff going on. And I mean, he has his own production stuff going on from before too. So not to jump into or to dig into your stuff and into what you do with like your digital media and marketing podcasts on, not that stuff. I'm talking about specifically just, things that we've been talking about together. So there's a lot more that we can offer our viewers, our listeners, or dads, and just generally people. We also want to be able to touch on different demographics, like the younger generation. Most
Yes,
definitely. I mean, that's the future.
definitely.
We have nieces, nephews. We're going to have kids that are going to be listening and watching very soon. So, my daughter being 11 years old, I don't know how long I can hold her off from social media. Come 5 years,
We'll try.
she's going to be there. And so, I think it's important that we start looking into and creating content for them, so that when they're up
Exactly.
to it, and maybe they join us. Maybe they join us if they're willing and want to, and they're good at it. Why not, right? We could probably
Definitely.
build
I mean,
something
there's
for
so many
that.
topics that dads think about, even things as, geopolitical, right? I'm a dad. I worry about the political situation. I don't know enough about it. Maybe as dads, we need to get experts on to explain to us and let us know, so we can be better at making decisions for the benefit of our family. Maybe we
Yeah.
need to get some experts who understand the economy, so we can understand the ups and downs of the economy. When is the right time to save versus spend versus invest as a dad? These are important topics. There's
Yeah.
a lot of things. There's a lot of different guests. I feel that once we really focus and we can diversify, that might not be necessarily related to that guest being a dad, but the
Yeah.
value they bring is things that dads think about, and you know
Need to know.
exactly,
Yeah. To
exactly.
be better in terms of, being financial planners, for example, for their
Yeah,
families or whatever they might be.
there's such a
Legacy
range.
builders. Yeah.
Such a
You're
range.
right.
So I think this is where I'm really excited, and I'm sure you are too, of being able to get that extra time,
Yeah.
invest it back in to get these really interesting and high quality guests, and to create that kind of content.
100%. That's what we're talking about, and that's what we're going to focus on doing. We're also going to focus on building a technical team that can
Yes.
start taking care of all the technical stuff that's been heavy on specifically Husa's shoulders, but on the project in general, and so that the creative side and the juices can flow. And another thing that you've always talked about, and I love, because you're absolutely right, and a lot of other influencers say the same thing, is success is on the other side of your comfort zone,
Hmm.
right? And so one thing that you've been talking about, and I think I'm fully on board with, is we have to consider looking at like skits and
Hmm.
creating content that might be entertaining, comedy,
Mm.
stuff that relates to real life dad issues that maybe we're not really comfortable acting out, but you know what? We're going to try it, and we're going to try it, and we're going to try it
That's right.
again.
I mean, idea is that our page can't just always just be talking heads. The idea is
No,
that,
it's
yes, we're
got to
going
be
to have our
fun,
story.
right?
I think
Yeah,
it should be a mix, right? We're going
engaging.
to have clips of our podcast.
Mm,
We're going to have our story-based content about our journey.
yeah,
Things like, for example, me and you, when we do our little powwows and we want to find guests, this is a part of our story journey. But at the same time, we also want to have fun. We want to laugh. We want to be silly. So
yeah,
we also need to start looking at recording just funny stuff, right? Things ethnic dads do. Something that every dad forgets. These funny little clips that are real.
yeah,
They are real. They happen to us all the time, but we're just going to try to portray it in a funny way so we can all laugh and laugh at ourselves. So we're going to try to do that kind of mix, and we're
yeah.
going to learn as we go, just
Hmm.
as we're learning with this podcast. But I think all these things are going to help take our podcasting and our content to the next level. So
Yeah.
almost these two pillars are going to go parallel or hand in hand, are what's going to really, I think, for us, shape 2026 and
Hmm.
how we're really going to start tackling it and try to bring more value to this community for sure.
And we're going to start recording a lot of B-roll, a lot of back of the scene,
Yeah,
behind the
people need
scenes
to see
stuff.
what we go through, like
Yeah.
just our meetings, or when we bash our heads together, when we talk about these things. These are
Gonna
things that,
say,
you know, it's just part of the journey, and I think it's
yeah,
important. We just don't want to give you some polished episode. You need to see the journey we go on. Because a lot of people out
100%.
there, even if you're starting a podcast and you're not a dad, I mean, the struggles of, we had to learn about what light to get, what mic, we hooked up this monitor and the whole system crashed. I mean, these
Yeah.
are things that we genuinely went through, and we had to like kind of learn, right? There's no
And this
manual.
is, yeah, this is beautiful content for new kids that will be dads and that are looking at, what is life like for people that
Mm,
try to start a podcast or
yeah.
try to become content creators before AI hits and takes everybody's job.
Exactly.
So we can maybe be the last generation where people were able to record genuine human interactions and stuff that is actually genuinely real,
Yeah.
and not fake content that's made artificially.
Yep.
And share the experience. I'm
100%.
excited, man. I
I'm
think
so
there's a
excited,
lot to be
honestly.
shared.
Look, but honestly, like we had a few, we had a few stressful conversations.
Yeah.
But I think they're important to have because now I'm a lot more positive about what's about to come. You know what I mean? But we had to have like those stressful couple weeks. We had to have stressful conversations and some doubts. But I think because we're actually talking them out and we're planning how to mitigate or then these little micro shifts here and there. I think that's why I'm really pumped about next year and all the things we're going to bring.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
The doubts that we had. So recently, Hoos and I, we've been really busy with work. It's
Yeah.
December. It's the end of the year. We have lots to do on both of our plates. I'm in sales. He's managing his department. We have more than you can imagine on our plates, and when it comes to work, and then we have the families. He has two kids. I have three. We have family visiting from abroad. There's a million things going on.
Yep.
So we had kind of disconnected a little bit while doing our weekly recording episodes and stuff like that. We weren't able to plan properly. We had to skip a few times in recordings.
Yeah, not release on time, which is not good for the regular listener. You need to have like a routine on your listening. So
Yeah, exactly. And then we just kind of said to ourselves, I think I just brought it up to you. I was like, man, I feel like we're disconnected, and I just want to be honest with you and say, what's going on.
Yeah.
And once we had that conversation, it was kind of like, I feel the same way. And when we talk and when we get things done, it feels a lot more like accomplished because
yes,
we can end saying, okay, we now know what we're going to do. There's a plan in place. A lot of meetings are useless, but these ones are very important, I think.
I think this is where the uncertainty, like anytime there's uncertainty and you're on your own, this is where you start to think. And when you start to think, then you create these tangents into your head,
Scenarios,
and they get darker and deeper. And and then you come to, like, for example, Yas thought I wanted to like quit the podcast altogether, for example. Well, in my mind, I was upset at myself because I wasn't consistent with the release of the episodes and clips. And that's why I was down. It had nothing to do, you know what I mean? But just having a conversation, like if we just stayed quiet and just kept kind of doing everything, it would just get worse and worse and worse.
No. And another message of being a dad, right? Talk it out, speak.
100%. And this is what happens, right? When you get down, let's say you're financially down and you just keep getting down and down and you get worse and worse. And this is why you have a lot of depression or suicide in fathers.
Yeah.
But the moment you talk it out, like we talked it out, I'm like, oh, I feel so much better. And then we started having these little, voice notes back and forth and these ideas and ideas and ideas. And this is kind of the first of those ideas, which is kind of outlining what we want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. But brought us onto the same page, first of all.
100%.
And it's any relationship, right? Like sometimes you got to do that with your spouse.
Oh, definitely.
Your wife and you disconnect and you're just like, okay, I don't know what's going on. And then you say, we haven't talked in a long time. What the hell's going on? Let's really bring it back to where we need to. So that's how it works.
All right, like anytime like your spouse does something and you go like, oh, in your head you're like, oh, she did that because of this, and you go talk to her and you're like, oh, it turns out it was completely by accident. She had no idea she did it, and you're like, oh, in my mind I thought it was all whatever on purpose, whatever, but it wasn't.
Bro, 90% of everything we worry about isn't even real.
100%.
It's not even happening. It's just what we've created in our minds as our own realities. So we need to always make sure that everybody's on the same page with us and just be like, yo, listen, is this what you're thinking? Because this is what I feel like you're thinking.
Definitely.
I do that with my brother too. Like sometimes we'll just be like, together, but not really. And then it's just like, yo, dude, are you like, is there something bothering you? You know, and just got to kind of recalibrate and bring things back to normal. And I think talking is very important. It's therapy.
Oh, 100%. 100%. So I'm really pumped. I'm actually like so positive. Yes, it's gonna be tough. There's gonna be hurdles. We're probably gonna stumble and fall and learn about these different things. But the fact that we're trying to make changes and actively trying to do things better for the community and for ourselves and for this podcast, I think that's the intent matters. I think.
Of course, that's what is going to take us to the next level. I think, and
Definitely.
Really excited about that. Do you think that so we're gonna obviously record a lot of back of behind the scenes kind of stuff,
Yeah,
B-roll, and then turn it into parts of what we're gonna basically call our own documentary or autobiography on how we're building this project. Do you think that we should also talk about some of our own personal struggles as dads while we do that too? Like maybe
definitely,
even,
definitely. I
I'm
mean, yeah,
thinking maybe record our own little, clippets as like today
definitely. I
was
mean,
just a tough day. I just, I had an
sure,
argument with Hoos and blah, blah, blah. And my kids are driving me up the wall. I don't know what to do. I'm
definitely. I mean,
banging tables.
Dubai dads and everything is not just about. I mean, in the end, we're all individuals and we all have
Yeah.
our own journeys and struggles. And it's sometimes very hard to put that aside to do a podcast. A lot of times, you had a really tough day, but now you have to record. So all these
Yeah.
things are really important, and I think it's really important for people to see, because again, all dads go through similar things.
Yeah.
I think it'll be actually really helpful for fellow fathers to see that they're not alone. And the problem is that you always think, and it's just I think it's just a human thing. You always think that your problems are unique to you, and only you are going through this thing.
Yeah.
In reality, no, millions of us are going through this thing. All of us are
Everyone.
going through this.
Yeah.
So the idea is that just by seeing that kind of content there, maybe it'll make a dad go, oh, so it's not just me.
Yeah.
And if we can solve it, maybe that'll help someone else solve it. So definitely, I think we need to also showcase the individual struggles.
Yeah. Let's do that, man. Let's get
Definitely.
it all together and let's just have fun with it.
Yeah, man. So a lot to do, but I think I'm excited, I'm pumped, I'm motivated, and I think this is just something we have to go through to be able to get it. And this is just one hurdle we will get over.
Yeah. Kudos to where we've come
Definitely.
and cheers to where we're about to go.
And thanks for everyone who watches the content, everyone who follows us on any of the channels, any of the dads who actually joined the group, anyone who just watched the clips. Even if you didn't like or subscribe, you just watched the clips. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
And also shout out to everybody that supported us and told us that what we were doing is amazing and has value and purpose, because really that's genuinely what we set out to do.
Exactly.
We didn't, at this age with kids and everything like that, we're not trying to claim our 5 minutes of fame.
No.
We're trying to really add quality to the community and the tribe that we think is a part of us. And we understand the social relationship, the circle of people that need to, the bond of brotherhood between dads that I think is invaluable. And it's just where the community lacks this kind of a support system, this kind of a relatable channel for dads. And that's what we wanted to set out to create. And that's what we're
Exactly.
trying
Very
to
well said. Perfectly said. I don't even think I need to add anything to that, man. That was perfect.
I mean,
So, guys, stay tuned for a lot of changes. Just next couple of weeks, we're gonna be doing some guests just to close out the year, because we don't want to leave you guys without any content. But starting January, we're gonna see a big shift in our content. So stay tuned. Follow us on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, and obviously on Spotify for the audio version. And you guys are gonna really like what we're gonna put forward. And I'm really excited about it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Same here. So I'm Hoos, he's Yes. We're Dubai Dads, and we're out.